everyone. How are you doing? I hope you had a good weekend. It was a little chilly out this weekend. Um, so we're just getting back into the work week and trying to adjust as Floridians are not used to the glare. I have a little guest here today. Riley thought she wanted to jump in on the live as well. So today we're just going to be going over money moves fishing charters need to make to prepare for a great year. We are in 2023. 2022 has come to a close, and we want to have this big successful year, but it's not just going to happen if we sit back and not prepare, right? We want to prepare and make sure that we do everything we can to have a wonderful 2023. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jayce Anania. I'm owner and accountant of Hooked Accounting Services, and I've been in the accounting field for over 5 years now, and I just want to help other business owners make sure they're profitable, understand their numbers, and stay compliant. That's really important because then you're not having to pay interest and penalties to the IRS, and you have more net income for yourself. So that's what I'm here to do, and today I just want to talk about 3 things you can do to make sure you have a successful 2023 and to get yourself started off right. The first thing we need to do is prepare your financial documents. As we come into a new year, that means we are closing the prior year, and that means tax season. Yay! Some of us stress tax season, others of us are nonchalant about tax season. Some of us are prepared and on top of it, and others are like, oh my gosh, where did 2022 go? I am not prepared at all. And that's okay, because I'm here to help both aspects. So, we need to prepare the financial documents for the year end of 2022. What documents am I talking about? Your balance sheet and profit and loss. If you don't have those ready yet, now is the time to get a bookkeeper or accountant to help you and get your financial statements in order so that they're ready to go into your tax return. Did you purchase new equipment? Did you purchase new vehicles last year? If so, the sales contracts for those assets are very important. Also, did you sell any assets last year? That's important to know too, and how much you sold them for, so we can make sure and recognize that gain, hopefully, on whatever you sold. Also, your end of year statements for your bank, credit cards, any loans. We definitely need to keep track of those year end statements, and that way we have the balances to report properly on the tax returns. Right now we are filing the 4th quarter payroll returns and W-2s, also Form 1099s. You should have all of those as a record for your business. When the W-2s and 1099s are filed, there are employer copies of those forms for your records, so make sure to keep those with your payroll returns. Also, any personal loans that you may have done for the business, or you're funding the business, that is important too for your accountant, bookkeeper, and tax professional to be aware of. Step 2 is look to hire a reputable tax pro or bookkeeper and accountant, or both. Hooked Accounting, I work closely with you. I input your books, I review them, I provide you with analysis on your books to see where you're at. I also work with your tax pro, as I am not a tax professional. So I work closely with your tax professional, whether it be a CPA or an enrolled agent, and make sure that you are compliant. We file you timely, and also look forward to the end of this year and make sure you are covered with paying in your taxes timely, so you don't have any extra penalties. So make sure if you don't have these individuals in place, you find them now. Don't wait until April 1st. Everybody in the financial field is crazy busy this time of year, so it's important to get on this as soon as possible. And the third step is a 2-part step. So the first part, if you haven't already outsourced your bookkeeping, like I said, do that now. And also assess your 2023 goals. So you have an idea of what happened last year, You hopefully have somebody like me or your tax professional helping you understand how you performed last year, and now you have that information and you can look at the data and then think about, what do you want to happen this year? Do you want to increase your customer base? Do you want to increase your revenue by a specific amount? These are things for you to think about now so that you can really focus in 2023, know where you're achieving. If you put those goals in writing, if you put them out to your staff, if you tell your spouse, if you tell the group that you're involved in, like within your industry, you put those goals out, if you're manifesting these things to come true and for you to maintain those goals. It's almost an accountability thing, right? So let's put those goals out so that we can make sure we achieve those in 2023. And hey, maybe even we'll surpass them. Crazy, crazy thing to think about, right? So put your goals out there, but make sure that they're smart, that they're specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. You don't want to put these huge, huge goals out there that you'll never be able to attain this year. Maybe you don't have the equipment in place, you don't have the funding for this huge goal this year. So make sure it's measurable. Make sure you can actually attain it in this year, that it's realistic. And put time frames to the goals. Maybe break the goals down into steps that you'll achieve throughout the year. And make sure to use your financial data from 2022 and prior to make sure it is in line with what your business has done, can do, and what your infrastructure allows for. So you can assess your goals using these questions. Were your goals achieved? Why or why not that you had previously? If they were exceeded, why and how? Think about this. If you exceeded prior goals, how did you exceed those? So that way you can think of, what are my goals now and how can I exceed them in the future? What are the next steps? So what are the next steps for your business? Do you want to have a higher anticipated revenue? Do you want to expand your business in a certain way? Maybe pay off debt, right? We've talked about that in previous weeks. These are all things to think about. If you fell short of previous goals, ask yourself why you fell short. What happened that caused you to fall short of those goals? And what are the next steps? Do you pull back on a product line? Do you pull back on a specific tour you do that is very costly? Maybe you do an annual tour and it's just not producing. So we need to maybe change that up, go somewhere else, do it a different time of year. And do you need to cut back on your forecast and really focus on your forecast a little bit more to be more realistic? Do you need to lower or raise your prices? We talked to you last week about raising prices. So these are all things to consider. And again, having an accountant on hire and having a tax professional to make sure that they're keeping track of you throughout the year to make sure you're paying in enough in taxes so that you don't have this big overwhelming surprise at the end of the year. It's very important, and we are able to work with you. You'll have a monthly understanding of where you're at with those goals, how your business is performing, and ultimately lead you to a much more successful year. So it's definitely a lot to consider. If you need help or have some questions, feel free to drop the word hooked in the comments below, and I'll be happy to reach out to you ASAP so that we can start discussing what this may look like to work with Hooked Accounting and what your 2023 could look like. If you have anybody who may need to hear this message, please feel free to share this video. This new group where fishing pros catch financial clarity is going to house all of my lives every week. Typically we're going to do these. I'm going to try to do them Mondays at 12:45. I had a doctor's appointment today, so it was a little later. But this is where we're going to just make a network where everyone in the fishing industry can come, share your input, share what's working and not working with your business. Just have a great positive space to make sure we are successful, we're growing our business, we're out there catching the big fish and having, the business we always dreamed of having and being able to do what we love while making money and a living for ourselves. So if you have any questions of any types, feel free to drop them in this group. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm always here to answer your questions. And I hope everybody's having a good new year so far. And I look forward to seeing you guys here every week. So I think that's all I have today. I don't see any questions in the comments. So I think I'm going to call it today, and I will be around if you need me. Have a great day.